Look up, brother. About 50 odd cars I reckon waiting to go back down south.
What you're looking for.
Turning off here to Ussher Point. This road down to Ussher Point is absolutely shocking. It's about 5 to 15 k's an hour for most of it, and it's 63 k's long. So if you want to go down to Ussher Point, you really got to make the commitment to stay a couple of days to make the trip in worthwhile. That's just my opinion on it anyway. Otherwise, beautiful drive, absolutely beautiful bush, but just one hell of a road to go down, as you can tell from this. So here's just pulled up by the side of the road into Ussher Point and found this amazing looking vine. I think it's called Jardine. I'm not sure what its other species name is, but absolutely amazing looking thing. And yeah, pretty cool thing.
Whoa!
This is the view that we found as soon as we got here. Absolutely mind-blowing. Loads of rubbish on the beach unfortunately, but it's just gorgeous. the past 3 or 4 days. Hardly taken them off. Hasn't put anything else on really, except for bed. So far, this is probably the most amazing type of vegetation and geological formations that I've seen on the whole trip. Just incredible. Definitely going to be amazing colours and that tomorrow morning when the sun comes up. And even now, it's still just, I don't know, I'm in awe, totally in awe. Yeah. Came out here to the termite mounds that are out on the end of Ussher Point. Very amazing looking landscape. Otherworldly, I guess you'd call it. Use these little steps, okay?
What are these?
It's all eroded. Try not to touch too much because it'll break. Okay, so you put your foot, come down backwards easier, Chloe. Turn around. Or you can come forward if you want. It's easier to go backwards. Yep. Sideways. Yep. And then you put your other foot down. No, here, somewhere. And then you put that one down. Okay. Okay, yep, that's fine. Well, Chloe?
Loose.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not moving my foot.
No problem. I'm gonna go home.
Okay, Chloe. You alright?
No, I'm
That's the hard bit.
Drops down to you guys.
Yep. You can stand on the white clay kind of, yep, that's it, Chloe. And then you can jump down to that little lower spot. Or climb down to that, you'll be okay. And then it gets a lot easier from there. Okay.
That one is moving.
Chloe, you come first. Try not, yep. Okay.
What stuff?
That's the sand. Yep. Keep coming, Chloe. Climbing down the cliffs at Usher Point. It's like climbing across the moon or a canyon on Mars or something. Native picture plants or nepenthes growing out here in the springs that are coming off the cliffs. Big pandanus bushes. And that's the beach. Up on these northern beaches in Cape York, plastic drums, bottles, oxygen tanks, bleach bottles, buckets, fishing nets, fishing floats, all plastic just about. As far as I'm concerned, everyone needs to make a plea or put in a concerted effort to get all companies around the world to start using biodegradable plastics and to stop producing plastics that will not break down in the environment, because this is the result, guys. Absolutely, it's appalling, it's scary. Pristine cliff faces and clear, clean water, and then it runs into this, guys. Runs into a mass of plastic. Is this really what we want our kids to inherit? I don't think so. Just filled up with some water from this beautiful little waterfall here. The water's mainly for putting in the car if needs be. But this is the beautiful little waterfall. Down there, Chloe.
A little spring that has pink sand on it.
Yeah, and that little spring is coming straight out of the rock face, right there, literally only 5 metres away from where Chloe is. And you can see that there's 20 or 30 litres of water coming out every 5 to 10 minutes, I'd say. It's just pouring out.
Oh look! I found it swimming.
Ah,
Yeah, it's sinking. Oh look, it's sinking.
okay. Back to the top of that little cliff. Climb back up the cliff faces. Off to find a little bit of metal to chop up and turn into a couple of washers to reinforce a couple of brackets on my trailer that got destroyed on the road out here. But that's the challenges of living in Cape York or travelling through Cape York. Stay tuned and find out how I go. Just wandering down to the main access point to Usher Point, and I need to scrounge a bit of metal off the beach. Yesterday when I was down here, I remember seeing a trailer or an old trailer, and so I've got my angle grinder in my backpack and I'm off down to drill a couple of holes and then cut up this trailer to make a couple of metal washers that I need to reinforce a couple of U-bolts that are holding the springs onto my trailer. And without that, I've got to drive back to Bamaga, which is about 3 hours, and find something in Bamaga and then drive back to fix the trailer. So fingers crossed that I can get this sorted by scrounging some old parts off this old trailer that's down here on the beach. Stay tuned. Welcome to pristine Cape York, everyone. This is where your plastic bottles end up. Thongs, plastic bottles, floats, you name it, it's here. And look at the quantity of it. All the microplastics here. What hope in hell do the sea life have, eh? To all you little turds out there that bloody throw your stuff out the window, this is where it ends up, guys. Have a bit of respect for your world, eh? Because I'd like my granddaughters and my grandkids to grow up in a world that doesn't look like this. I was talking about. So what I'm going to do is try to use a bit of the metal off this frame to fix my trailer up. No idea how it's going to go, but it's the best option I got at this point in time. So I've just cut a little hole, or drilled a little hole into the frame so I can get my bolts through afterwards. Now I've got to gut the frame with an angle grinder to see if I can So there's my first bracket, or first large washer that I need to reinforce the trailer with. And in a second, hopefully I can get a second one out of this. Stay tuned. There we go. That's where I cut the 2 brackets out of. Thanks very much for whoever left this shit here on the beach. Saved my life. Well, not really, but probably helped me get out of here today. What a spot. Certainly be back to Usher Point, even though the road's difficult and it's about 3 to 3.5 hours out of Babiga. It's definitely worth it, guys. Just be prepared and don't even think about bringing camper trailers or caravans. The track is so narrow that I could barely get through with the Subaru and my little motorbike trailer, yeah? So swags only, and be prepared for a pretty rough trip out. See you later on. Hiking out of Usher Point, back to the little campsite where I've left the car, trailer. Didn't have to, I could have driven down, but I've had a beautiful walk this morning with Chloe, my daughter, and a German couple that we met from South Australia. They're close to Jardine, and really nice people. And so they're having a little bond with Chloe while I went and did this bit of bush mechanicking. And when I get back, I'll show you the issue with the trailer and how I plan to jerry rig it, just so that I can get back into Bamaga or Seisha to get it sorted. I've also got the fans on the radiators. They don't run off the actual motor, they run off the electric system, and I've pretty much guaranteed to have snapped a little wire, or don't know, I've checked the fuses, but not sure. So I'm going to be limping out of here today, and this German couple are going to follow me out just to make sure that if I need some assistance to get back into Bamaga, they can give me a lift in to sort out the parts that I need or whatever. So fingers crossed, and all in all, I am very happy with the way the Subaru and the little trailer are gone, and I kind of expected some kind of small issues along the way. I think anyone who doesn't is an idiot. You know, people kill their cars in Nolans, or you know, all that kind of thing. Of course I haven't done any of that sort of stuff, but yeah, the tracks that I've done, I think, as you'd see in the videos, that they're pretty full on, super remote, super corrugated, and you know, if you plan for a few simple things, chuck a few simple tools in the car, angle grinder maybe, drill maybe, a bit of wire, duct tape, some washers, a few nuts and bolts of different sizes, maybe a bit of heater hose, yeah, maybe a set of bearings for the car and a set of bearings for the trailer is probably a good idea too. Not that I've needed them, but other than that, I think that's about all you really need to sort of pack for emergencies. And then have a bit of common sense, you know, don't go too hard, drive to the conditions, and don't rely on RACQ, because number one, there's no phone reception. Number two, a lot of the tracks that we're on out here, they're not actually gazetted roads, so even if you have a trouble, your RACQ, whether it's ultimate or whatever, it's not going to cover it. And even your insurance companies, most of your insurance companies won't cover your vehicles for these tracks. So a lot of people kind of count on that you know, they drown their motor in Nolans, and then the insurance company says no because it's not a proper road. So I mean, in my opinion, people either got too much money or no brains, one of the two. And so I think, you know, you got to be one or the other, or be very smart, be self-sufficient, and plan to have a few things go wrong. All right, anyway, that's my rant for the morning, and I'll fill you in on how this trailer and radiator goes at the end of the day today. And I think I'll be able to get out, but it's going to be interesting to see. Alrighty guys, see yous. More of the shocking road that goes out of Ussher Point. It's very, very slow going, even for four-wheel drives. I think it'd best be really slow going, but absolutely, I think, in my opinion, worth it. But as I said earlier, definitely not a camper trailer type road. Swags only, as far as I'm concerned. Okay. All good?
Looks a bit foggy. Yep. Baby,